Hey guys. So, cut myself last night when I was making dinner. I gotta put a band-aid on real quick. I haven't cut myself in years. I was a little tipsy though, so that probably was why. Had a couple glasses of wine. Ow. Okay. It's so annoying when you have a freaking band-aid on your finger. Can you guys relate? It gets in the way of everything. That was just conditioner that I put in my hair because my hair is super dry today. So is my face. I guess the air is just dry today. But super dry. Yeah. So I thought about in today's, you know what, let me finish this up and then we'll get into today's video. So tonight, I can't even say it right, like I'm so nervous, I don't know why, but tonight we're going to be talking about the time I lost my virginity to a girl. So if you guys want to hear about that, keep watching. So, as you guys might have known, if you're a subscriber of mine, I dated girls for most of my life until I was about 17. So, I never really opened up my attraction towards guys or anything like that until I was almost out of high school. So, I'm going to talk about how I met this particular girl that I fell in love with throughout high school, and how important she was to me, and how I lost my virginity to her. So I wish I could say this girl's name, but I really can't because that's just not fair, and I haven't asked her, and I don't want people to know who I'm talking about, you know. So me and this particular girl were friends, very close friends. I met her at the park that all of the kids in my friend group hung out at and congregated at, and she just kind of showed up one day, and I think she was with her dog. She had a puppy at the time, and it was a pit bull, and it was so cute, and I got to know her, and I hung out with her that day and walked her back home. And after that, we pretty much kicked it off, and we were hanging out almost every single day. We kind of worked up towards that. I just really enjoyed her company. We got along really well. She was a Sagittarius, so that may have been something to do with it. I'm a Taurus, so I might, you know, I believe in horoscopes and the power of the universe and signs and everything like that. So that could have had something to do with it, but we had just such a strong connection from the jump, and she was older than me. So I met her when I was about 15. No, 14. Yeah. I met her when I was 13 or 14. I'm gonna say 14 though. And wow, that's pretty crazy. I've known her for a long time. So she was with me through a lot in my life, and she was always there. And ever since we met, and you know, I was always there for her too. She lived very close, just a walk away, and she was struggling with finishing up her high school diploma, and I really wanted to help her with that. So every morning I would walk like 2 miles out of the way, and then an extra mile to school, snow on the ground, freezing temperatures, because I cared about her that much. And I would just walk to her house and knock on her bedroom window to make sure that she woke up, because she's a hard sleeper just like me. she can sleep through 10 alarm clocks, no issue. So I offered to do that, and she'd wake up, she'd open the blinds and give me this nastiest look, and then I'd walk over to her door, she'd let me in, I'd make her some coffee, and then we'd walk to school. And then walk home afterwards. And that happened for like 3 years. No, probably 2 years. And after that, she kind of didn't really finish up school. She got her GED though, which, you know, it could be considered the same thing in some people's minds. But I just want you guys to know I really cared about this girl, and I never would have wanted it to be with anybody else but this particular girl. So we spent every day together. She would come over to my house a lot, and we'd hang out in my bedroom, you know, out in my backyard. We'd just hang out on my deck. And it got to a point where I think my family was getting, or my dad, because it was only me and my dad, was getting kind of annoyed, like, because it was every day, and he didn't have a day where it was just me, him, and the dog, or just him and the dog, you know? So my family didn't really like her. I brought her up to the house a lot, and I really still to this day do not know why they didn't like her. It puzzles me. And they would give just the coldest energy, and she noticed too, but she would still come over, and just because she wanted to be with me. And she'd come to all my parties. I used to throw tons of parties back in high school. And she'd be there, she'd help me, she'd come early, help me set up, help me clean up. And she was just a huge person, huge influence in my life. A lot of my friends at the time didn't like her either. And I think it's because they realized that me and her had such a strong connection, and like we just spent so much time with each other that there was nobody really coming in between that. So I don't know if I mentioned yet, but she is 5 years older than me. So when I met her at 14, she was 19. So that's, you know, that's a little bit old. That's a year older than my sister. You know, age difference. So it's kind of weird to think about it that way, but so she went to school with my sister, and my sister knew her that way, and I think that had a lot to do with the misunderstanding in the family, in the household, you know. She was quite a bit older than me, and I wondered why she liked me too, but not too much, because I loved her, and I thought she loved me too. So one night after a party at some mutual friend's house, we ended up leaving the party. We left early, and I think it was because me and her both got into an argument with somebody, or maybe a group of people, and we were just not having it. So we ended up coming back to my house, and we were drinking a little bit at my house when we got back. So, you know, the barrier's kind of thin, and the vibes are rolling out. The vibes are out there, and you're just feeling the vibes. And so we ended up having sex, and it wasn't just quick in and out, like 1, 2, 3. It was kind of like an all-night type of deal. And it was, I still remember it to this day, and I loved every moment of it, every minute of it. We cuddled, we kissed, we were watching a movie. Actually, we were watching multiple movies, and I just had Netflix going, of course. That was the night I lost my virginity, and I was very nervous the days after that, because we had unprotected sex, and of course, you know, it was my first time. I didn't know anything about it really. It was like my emotions were flying high, and I was just in my head. It was crazy. I was asking her questions, like, are you, like, I didn't come in her. Of course I did the pull-out method, but I was still nervous because I was just, you know, a virgin boy. I was a virgin boy, and I just, I was annoying her to the point where, like, I think it turned her off. It didn't turn her off, but she was just getting annoyed. And she snapped at me one day, and she was like, "Shut up!" You know, we just got into this ordeal because we both have very strong personalities, me and her, and so we'd get in little, you know, back and forth bickers and stuff. But so after that, after I annoyed her with all of my questions, she wasn't pregnant with my kid, by the way. I ended up confessing to her about my curiosity for guys and to experiment with guys. I didn't tell her I was gay, I just told her that I wanted to, like, basically mess around with guys and see what it was like, or a guy and see what it was like. And she was 100% on board with it. She was, like, not even judging me at all. And then she told me that, "Oh yeah, I like girls. You know, I've made out with a couple girls. Like, I would have done a couple things with a couple girls, like so and so." And I was like, "Yeah, like, it's not the same though, you know, like, I feel like homosexual activities are much more intense on the male side and much more unaccepted because it's like a lot more into it." I hope that's not offensive, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Like, people don't mind if you say, "Oh, that girl's hot," but if, like, a guy were to say, "Oh, that's a fucking stud right there, that dude's sexy," you know, like, if a guy were to say that in front of his girlfriend at a passerby in the mall, you know, it would come off a different way. Now, if she were to say, "Damn, that girl is hot, she got it poppin', she's sexy, you know, look at that ass," he would be like, "Yeah, I know, right, babe?" It's like a total double standard. I appreciate that she was trying to, you know, sympathize with me and feel the same way. Some time went by after that, we drifted apart. She started dating other guys, and she ended up having a couple kids. And I just kept living my life and, you know, trying to get out of that little town. I also started experimenting with guys. I got onto different dating sites and, like, mobile apps and stuff on my phone and meeting different guys that way. And it opened my eyes up a little bit. And then eventually when I moved out of Maryland to Arizona and then started experimenting more, it really has opened my eyes. I kind of haven't been dating for a little bit, but I've been getting back into it. So I'm excited to get some new stories for you guys, experience some new adventures, if you will. So guys, that was the time I lost my virginity to a girl. I don't know if I mentioned yet, but I was 15 years old, and it was a pleasant experience. I enjoy it. I'll always cherish it. I still talk to her a little bit. But yeah, if you guys want to hear about my story time losing my virginity to a guy, then stay tuned. That'll be my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have had a great day. Make sure you guys give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.